So welcome to Matplotlib. What is Matplotlib? Matplotlib is a graphical representation of the values. So just like when we have pivot table and pivot charts, let's say Matplotlib is like let's say pandas is pivot table, then Matplotlib is pivot chart. So Matplotlib is when you use graphs to represent your values. So we'll look at this. So here am I. Before you start, the first thing is you say import pandas as PD, you import numpy as np, then import matplotlib as should be plt. Import matplotlib, so you run it. So now let's look at this. We have a data. What is this? This is list and dictionary. If you look at this type of data, okay, there's an error here. You can see it's dictionary. Type of data is dictionary. We have the key and the values. Now the first thing we are going to do now is to convert that data to pandas. Convert this to pandas before we now use it for our analysis. So to do that, you will say, you can give it anything. Say df equals to pd dot data frame into bracket. The name of the dictionary is what? Data. You put the name of the dictionary. So you've converted this to pandas. If you look at you can see this is a pandas data. So now if you look at df, let's look at the data. So this is a data, this is a data. So right now I want to start our another thing I can look at now is I will now say df equals to pd dot data frame data. Then you can look at, you can name the columns like the way you are using it for analysis for your visuals. You can do like this. Now if you look at this data, this key year and exchange rate is just like column name, just like you have here the year, the exchange name, then the other ones are the values. So you can tell which one is your, for example, df equals to pd dot data frame into bracket, then you have data and you now have columns. You can indicate your columns, put it inside square bracket. We have year, Then we also have exchange rate. So you run, you close the bracket. All right. The columns is optional. You can choose not to put columns. You can choose not to put columns. It's optional. You can remove the columns. You can remove the columns. But if you don't put columns, you can leave it like this. So it's going to know that, okay, the first key is the first column. Python will, if you look at this, if you don't name the columns, it's going to pick this first one as the first column, this one second. If you have like that, you just arrange them on its own. But in most places where it did not arrange it very well like you want, you can now name the columns. All right. And one thing now is I can change this one to, okay, let me copy this. I can now change this one to exchange, just something like this, and I will run it. So if I now say df, let me return only the first 5 rows. I think you understand what I'm doing here. Can you see? The exchange rate is showing like null, null, null. Why? Because the spelling here, the way I spell it is not the way it is here. So please always ensure that you spell your column name very well, exactly the way it is in the data. Always do that. So but if I now run this one, I now run this one. So if I look at this again, everything is okay now. So ensure that your column name is spelled exactly the way you have it in the data when you are declaring your columns. Okay, so we have our table. Now let's move. We are here. It's time to plot our listing. We now say df dot plot is to bracket x equals to, you guys used to plot graph those days now, x axis and y axis, and now say here the x here, comma, y equals to exchange rate, comma, you now say kind equals to what type of chart. I will say okay, line chart. You close the bracket and you run it. Can you see? The year, so can you see this? Now I can change this to bar chart. Can you see bar chart? This is when you are doing bar chart, is bringing you vertical, but if I want horizontal, I'll put a share. You can see horizontal bar chart. I can change this to area to bring area chart. So how do we do it? df, this is my table name. This particular data is known as df. df dot plot, then the x, the y. By now you should know pivot table, understanding what should be in the rows, how to line your thing. So exchange rate, then kind. The kind now will now be what type of chart do you want to use. You put it. So this is just it. This is it. This is it. Then there's another one known as scatter. We call it scatter chart. So if I change this to scatter, you have scatter. You can see this. And also, I didn't complete this thing. Your own might not run, but always make sure you complete it. I'm supposed to put tl dot show. So this is the best way to do it. So df, at the end of the day, you put plc rather dot show. This plc, you know what it means, abbreviation for Matplotlib. When we imported it, we import Matplotlib as plc. So scattered, all these ones. This particular one, let me copy this in case you don't. Let me explain this one for you. We have something like this. This is a data. Okay, you now say df equals to pd dot. This is where you convert it to. This is dictionary. You convert it to pandas. You now say plot dot scatter. df here, df exchange rate plus. It's the same thing as this. So these two, they are the same thing. df dot plot x here. This one now, pl dot, we already picked the kind of this thing to be scatter. Then you can now say df square bracket here, comma df. So this will return exactly like the other one. If you run this, it returns scatter for you. If you run this, it returns bar chart for you. So it's just the same thing. We change to scatter. So I can equally change this one to scatter. So it's the same. You can choose to, but this is what I would rather recommend at this point. But you can still use it like this. So now let's look at the last one before we close for today. Okay, we have something like the data equals to tax. This is what type of data is this? This is a dictionary. We look at this dictionary. We now convert this to pandas. df equals to pd dot data frame into bracket data, then comma columns. You put this tax, comma index, pending, complete, ongoing. Calm down. Let's look at this. What does this mean? This is just like let me check something. Okay, we look at something like this. If you look at this, this is saying yes 83, no is 83, yes is 95. So that is exactly what is happening here. This first value here represent pending. We are looking at the tax, just like you do your pivot table. What are the pending tasks, the completed tasks, and the ongoing tasks? So these values now represent this one. Index now, when you now say index, pending, completed, ongoing, so this pending will be attached to this one, completed this one, ongoing this one. So at the end of the day, this is what you are going to have. If you run this is what you are going to have at the end of the day. So now we are going to plot a chart. We are going to plot a bar chart and pie chart using this. You now say df dot plot dot pie. The way pie chart works, is different. You now say y equals to then tax, comma, I can stop here. blt dot show. Okay, I made a mistake. This is plot. This is plot. So I have it. This is it. df dot plot dot pie y equals to tax. Then I have this. But if we look at this one, is different. We have this fixed size. This one is just like the size of this thing here. Like copy this. This is just the size of the chart. So if I change this is just like saying 5 by 5. If I change this to 10, if I run, you see now it becomes bigger. So you just use this particular one here to control your size. That is all what it does, just to control your size. So this is it. But in a situation whereby, let's say you did this, you did not put the index. You didn't put the index. You didn't put the index. If you run this, you're just going to assign, instead of pending, ongoing, and blah blah, you just assign 0, 1, 2 to it. So now if you run this, you can see now this legend will now just change to this one now is 0. So but the index will help you to name them, just like what we have here. If I have this kind of data, now the index will now help me. I will now say no, yes. Then the index will now help me to know the one what is no and what is yes. So that's just it. Okay. So that's what we are going to do tonight for Matplotlib part 1. In fact, you have done a lot already. What we are just going to do in our next class is to use already existing file. So, do you have any question? Please ask your question now. Any question? No question. If you are still with me, use emoji. Let me know those who are still with me. Only Victoria and Usman. So it's only Victoria and Usman that is online. Success. So Joy, you are not online. Okay, Chidera.
I'm here. Oh, I'm here, sir. I just want to go and warm food. At the kitchen, they listen to you.
So you cannot even sacrifice your food just for this class.
No, I cannot sacrifice my food, sir. No, it's not possible. I'll sacrifice my Valentine's night, but I'll not sacrifice my food.
Alright now. So any question? Okay. So that is the end of Matplotlib part 1. In fact, almost just everything. What we are really doing in part 2 is how to use existing data. But we've done everything you just need to know about Matplotlib. So I will end the recording.